Jay, yeah? It's Jay's tunes.
From America's inner cities to mainstream center stages, hip-hop is inarguably one of the most influential genres in the world. During my travels in the United Kingdom, England, Belfast, and Wales, I spoke with a slew of independent artists, all of whom say they face challenges and barriers when it comes to breaking the mold and receiving mass appeal like their American counterparts. Please join me on this segment of Breaking the Rules of Hip-Hop. Marcus Ward, I'm here in Nottingham, England, and I'm going to meet an incredible rapper by the name of Truth. We're going to be here to discuss everything from his life, the ups, the downs, and the discrimination that he faces in the hip-hop genre. So nice to meet you.
Jim, are you paying?
Yeah. Cerebral palsy comes from a lack of oxygen to the brain, and you can develop this impairment.
So can I ask you, as a rapper who has cerebral palsy, you said to me that you do face discrimination already.
Yep.
Just day-to-day life.
Yep.
How does that translate into hip-hop, you being an aspiring rapper?
Well, in hip-hop there's still the discrimination, but like why it's not so bad for me is because I'm like any other underdog rapper that is trying to come up. Like there's other people that are underdogs that I speak to, they'll be like, oh, Truth. Just give them those balls, baby.
The Irish hip-hop scene is budding, but because of lack of opportunity to showcase their talents, many are discouraged. But that hasn't stopped JJ Hype and other fellow Irish rappers who are dedicating their time and resources into growing the hip-hop scene in Irish culture.
Even the dogs in the street know nothing ever go my way, Carlito. Just float through life like speedboats, things been taped like speedos.
How you doing?
The man of the hour.
What's good? Marcus Ward.
So did you ever want to, were you so inspired that you felt like I couldn't make it because I'm not an American rapper?
I thought, yeah, growing up a lot, like the scene's kind of changed. Nowadays there's a bit more of a scene, there's more MCs. Like as you said, it seems dead over here. But
No, I didn't say that.
it seems there's not as many MCs as like to see on your side of things, do you know what I mean? And the reason being for that, I think just back in the day there wasn't as many MCs at all, and I thought, you're never going to make it from here, you know. But and you have to get the America to make it, it's the only way to do it. Nowadays we're starting to get a few people popping up and they're putting out the music, so hopefully that continues.
Your music, does it include vulgar language?
It's in like swear words and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Bitch, motherfucker.
I mean,
yeah. Asshole. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so sometimes depends. If it's needed, so as a poet and as a lover of words, if it's needed and you need to express something in those vulgar terms, I will do it. Do you know what I mean? but otherwise, no.
It's not needed. You want to put it there. It's not needed.
Sometimes it is needed.
I remember sitting in a room, like a box room we had, with a laundry and that was, and I was just writing. And I remember the words, I want to be free as a bird, and I kept writing that going down, and I went, it was a poem, and I thought, yeah, this could actually work as a song. And there's a guy down the street, used to live with me, Brendan Murray, still work with him. He sat down with me and said, man, you should rap. So he gave me a load of instrumentals, and I just started doing that.
Do you ever worry about your community?
Not anymore.
Muslim community.
I used to, bro, but I think I've grown into this unapologetic nature of myself, where it's like, yo, like this is what runs through me, and this is what I do. So
has the community shunned you?
Not really, no.
No.
I think the thing is, man, like it's like my sister's been my biggest supporter since day one. Like my brother knows I rap, he supports me to a degree, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of jealousy and envy and backbiting and that kind of stuff in our community too, where we're not the most supportive of each other. So again, man, like even if they did, I don't think I'd care at this point.
A couple of years ago, me and Sean, aka Shambles Boy, we put on an event in the Hudson Bar called Breaking Down Borders. We just sort of put on acts from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west.
And when did you know for you were talented? Do you feel that you're talented?
I wouldn't know. Definitely not. 100% not. No, I just work ethic. If I work, I'll get better. If I practice, I'll get better. If I don't, it's clear as day that I'm slacking. So no, I'm not talented. Never have been. it's just, yeah, just have the balls to get and do it, I think.
I've been rapping since 2013.
13?
So what, 8 years? Wow. I'll be 8 years in there, you've seen that.
Yeah, I'm rapping about 15 years, but I stopped pursuing writing, recording music for about 10 years, and then was inspired by the growth of the scene, you know, in Ireland, Northern Ireland mainly, and so I just got back into it. And then through, like I said, social media, we were able to connect with other artists, we were able to speak to people, and it was like you got to know each other for months before you met people in person, and then it was during gigs, shows, events, if you pulled up, that's where you met people for the first time. So it was it's kind of surreal.
What made you decide to pursue music professionally?
Yeah.
Especially because you come from a solid background of a lawyer.
As long as I can eat, bro, that's not what life's about for me. I could chase those materials and I could chase that kind of lifestyle, and I've lived it. Like when I worked in Saudi Arabia for the government for a year, and I made a lot of money out there, and I was traveling, I tasted that life, but it doesn't fulfill you, man.
Is there camaraderie between the rappers here in this country, in Belfast?
Let's say yes and no.
All right.
Right, there's politics. There is politics. There is camaraderie, as in it's a little bit cliquey, and certain people rub shoulders with certain people, and then other outsiders sort of rub shoulder with each other. So there is a lot of I wouldn't call it rivalry, but it's almost like friendly competition is a better way to word it.
Put it that way. Here I am in Newport, Wales. It is cold as hell out here. Oh, it's freezing out here. My hands is numb.
Flow frozen. You're a bad man. You joking. I'm on my mission. I know I'm devoted. I'm a closed book and I have my emotions. Gotta stay focused.
So what do black people do here? What do you? I know you light skin, but what do you do here?
What do you mean? They didn't even wanna know me weeks ago. I'm in love with my team.
Okay, so what is the name of this venue?
The Neon.
Neon.
The Neon, yeah.
Neon.
Go ahead. If you don't mean well, unforgivable. Now they wanna know me. Yeah. I'm getting all this love.
Oh, this is great. So this is the venue here.
This is the venue where we're going to be hosting on August 7th.
August 7th, all right. We're going to plug this in.
Enemies in for a nightmare. Got on my sides to clear all the serpents. I'm just trying to fill my purpose, only the tip of the surface. Still young, I'm determined.
So I began rapping at the age of 18.
18?
So I've only really been doing it for a year. So once I was making beats and I realised that what I wanted on top of my beats, I realised that to express it in the way what I wanted on top of it, I did it myself. I was kind of doing it for reference, and then I was like, do you know what, I've always enjoyed writing.
What do you mean? If you done me dirty, unforgivable. Now they wanna know me. Yeah, I'm getting all this love, it's unconditional. Yeah,
what artist inspired you that when you were a child and thought, I want to be like that?
Do you know what, I think Kendrick. So a lot
Kendrick
like Ram,
Lamar.
a lot like Ram. Yeah, I grew up on a lot of US music, and I think in a sense that's kind of benefited me because it's opened my mind up to a lot more different styles instead of just what the UK has given us as well. Especially in terms of rap music, there's a lot more like melodic influence and a lot of other influences as well, which has come in handy in my own music. So yeah, it definitely came in handy.
I like my revolutionaries, man. I like the people that make a difference. I like my Bob Marley. Bob Marley is one of the greatest artists, I think. And it's that aspect and the fact that he was just unapologetically himself. He just went out and did his thing, and he had a message behind his music. It was conscious, and it cuts you too short. DMX, as the bipolar, angry side, and just dealing with shit growing up. I related to DMX that way.
I've always thought this about American artists. I believe American artists can do well in America and do well over in the UK. However, it's much harder for a British artist to go over to the US and achieve.
Why do you think that is?
In terms of style, I think there's a lot to do with the style of UK music and how bouncy and how jumpy it is, especially with our accents as well.
How come you think that there hasn't been a rapper from Belfast that has pierced the mainstream?
One, our accent. I think our accent is quite hard to understand for a lot of people. And two, I think we're still in our infancy. I've always said, even law-wise, bro, like abortion's still illegal here, do you know what I mean?
Local support, because you know, you don't make it over here until you make it somewhere else, kind of thing. So the locals over here are like, oh, well, Alan, you're still doing the wee rap thing, you're still making our rap tunes, you know. So it's kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm never going to stop. So it's only really people that are really into it that are going to give you that support. So I think it's just that it's just a wee bit behind here a little bit.
There's never really been too much of a Welsh scene in general. Putting on this show that we're putting on the 7th of August in this venue, I believe that it's going to take a lot, and it's going to make people realise like there is actually a future in Welsh music, and with that becomes more investment and basically more attraction to what we're trying to do. And as soon as I think that happens, and I think we're young enough to do it as well, that's something I've always said.
Is there ageism in this?
Yes, in comparison to like rock and roll, in comparison to other genres, I'd say yes, because you still like Metallica would sell out. Well, like I mean, the big bands will always sell out in rock and roll, and they're held in like the Hall of Fames. Hip hop, not so much. Yeah,
why do you think that is?
The new generation these days, I think, my opinion, don't look back and respect the ones that came before them. Because back in the day, I grew up in the like 90s and 2000s. I look back, I didn't just sit and listen to my generation. I did listen to everything that was playing on the radio and everything that was going on, but still listen back. People don't do that as much these days. They're giving the finger to the greats that paved the way before them.
I don't think anyone should stop based on how old you are, ever.
Right, watch a 50-year-old rapper put all the records to shame. Every one of them, guaranteed.
Do you think you have the potential of being that 50-year-old rapper?
I have the potential of being whatever I want to be. I'm a firm believer in you can do anything that you believe in and you put the real effort into it.
As for me, I know I'm going to be that guy, because like I took 10 years off, so I feel like I got a lot to prove to myself, not even anyone else, just to myself, that like I shouldn't have stopped, and I got to work twice as hard just to catch up with my former self, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to be that guy at 50, still connecting to 20-year-olds or whatever, I don't care, like, you know, I'll just tell them my story, and if you can learn from it, you're going to learn from it, trust me. Yeah, just won a couple of pop sockets, Devious Raps, check out Devious Raps. There's one more there, there's one more.
I'm here, say hi to the kids.
Devious Raps on all socials, right? What do you think about Irish rap or Irish hip hop? Does it exist in your lives? Have you ever listened to any rappers?
Never heard of it.
Has never even heard of any Irish rappers at all?
Young Spencer?
Young Spencer? Well, he's no one, Young Spencer. Dude, TikTok, Snapchat, all that, go ahead. Thank you guys, take care, enjoy your day. I should have brought more pop sockets, shouldn't I? It's good to see as well when you ask the young ones about Irish hip hop, it doesn't exist.
See what we mean? Yeah. You know, that's a good thing. They're like, what? What's that?
But believe it or not, where I'm from, it's a lot of the younger ones that are all on my Snapchat, you know, because it's like they all love the vape shop, and they're all like, I'm the vape shop rapper, so they're all like, oh, you know, so I get a wee bit of support from the younger ones there, and a lot of my listeners are my age.
Hi guys.
And they don't listen to Irish hip hop.
You know, I just feel like we've got something to prove. That means we've got a lot of work to do.
It actually makes me hungry.
Yeah. I just feel like they haven't heard it yet. That's all. It's not like they're not listening to it. They just don't know it exists. They're too busy listening to the radio and watching MTV. Once it filters out and it becomes a thing.
American hip hop is definitely going a bit more like commercial with pop as well. So like American hip hop you hear on the radio all the time, like Post Malone's basically always on the radio now. Juice WRLD was always on the radio. With British artists, only like the last year or two that British artists are now starting to make music with pop artists and get on the radio and be more commercially known in America and different countries and stuff like that.
If you aim for that pops that started them, again you sell out like what we do. Like I'm not discounting anybody who does that, because that might be their sound and might be suited to that audience. But for us, we make stuff that runs through us, and if that goes into that stream, I would 100% walk that path. But I let the art lead the way, so wherever the art leads me, I will walk. Yeah.
So stardom, you're not seeking stardom.
I would love it if it happened, but
okay, so you want to be famous. You want fame.
I mean, my ideal would be everybody to know our music and like know and fuck with it, but me not having to always go into that limelight.
Okay.
Because again, just who I am, it's like that's why I make art. It's not about me. It's the art I make.
Hip hop was a way to express what we were going through and where you were coming from and everything else. Well, that's what we do. Whereas the other 90% of American rappers that rap about like.
That's how you're going to connect.
Yourselves conscious rappers.
Oh yeah. I would, yeah, absolutely.
You would.
Absolutely.
If you were to describe your music in one word, what would it be?
Different. Just weird, yeah. Weird. I'd say.
Weird?
Yeah.
Describe your music, why? Why weird?
You ever see a white Northern Irish rapper fucking rapping on fucking psychedelic, trippy fucking beats? Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird, you ask me. And the content, like, I don't fit anyone else's box. I don't fit the drill, I don't fit the fucking conscious shit too hard because I still talk some stuff about drugs and all that. And I don't fit the fucking drill shit because I'm talking too much conscious shit. So, I can't find a box to perfectly sit in.
Because your raps was deep. Listening, you said being the black sheep in your family, so I'm gonna give you a moment to kind of clear that up.
Yeah, there was never really, like, as I said, I was like, although I never really felt too out of place, I was told being different is good in many ways. In a sense, it's kind of like helped me go into any situation and know that I'm different, and that's something that I'm okay with. Like, I never felt the need to fit in a sense, and that's something which is always going to stick with me because, yeah, I was literally one of only ethnic groups in my whole school. So,
how big was it? How many kids was in the school?
About 500. So.
Oh
so
wow!
like
so you was the top of the charts. You was that one right here. You was the one with the afro right there.
Everyone's chasing to be the first and don't want to fuck with each other. You know what I mean? There's a lot of egos. You know what I mean? And I went over to Bristol, man, and it was just within a month I knew more MCs, more producers, more people to work with than I did in Belfast, and it was simply just because people just like, oh, you do what I'm doing, let's fucking work together, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's just not that here. It's like, oh, you do what I'm doing. And I say, alright, I'm watching you. But see, the fucking issue is, man, people have problems with you, don't even fucking, I've never met them. You know, it's just Facebook shit. But I wasn't like that back in the day. I used to just fucking have to go out to the clubs and do shows, and then you met different artists, or you out promoting. But nowadays it's all social media. So people have opinions on you based on profiles and shit. I think that's what issues are.
Let's talk about that. What is that? White stuff. What is white stuff? Now, white people answer me.
George, shit.
Yeah. White, come here. White man, come here. Come here. White, listen. White people answer me. Y'all have what is white stuff?
What's your take on the right stuff that they're using white?
I'm an interviewer from America. I'm coming here, and I'm disappointed because I'm looking at white stuff, and I got white people that don't tell me what this means.
You just run into Belfast big and small, so.
Okay. Do you rap?
Yeah.
Spit something right now. Spit something.
Spit something?
Yeah.
Well, it's just someone else's stuff, like.
Listen, go ahead.
Whether it's cheese, there are rats. Wherever there are rats, there are cats. Wherever there are cats, there are dogs. If you got the dogs, you got glitches. You got glitches in your life computer. Turn it off and then reboot it. Now you back on. Can't just put the cap on your bottle. Once you pop it, that'll spoil it. Go and drink it and enjoy it. Mama, I'll be a billionaire.
We actually have you. Come here. So you own this venue.
No.
Let's pretend like you do.
Okay. I'll pretend. I own this venue.
Do you think that hip-hop could become commercially viable, as big here in Wales as it is in the US?
The thing is, you're asking me a question, and I know what would be easy to say is, yeah, sure it can, but no. I would rather that it was actually way bigger than in the US, because I would rather...
Hip-hop?
Yeah. I would rather that it became something new, something different. You don't become a superstar by copying somebody else. You become a pretty good copycat, but if you want to become a superstar, you have to do something original.
And do you think that the Welsh rappers offer anything original?
I think that they could, if they are willing to experiment. And be willing to think outside of the box, and be willing and brave enough, gutsy enough to try radically different things. The reason I'm saying that is that's when you create magic, okay?
Do you think that people undermine you in the rap game?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I was having
because of your situation, or because of what you do lyrically?
Because of my situation, because like, I'll give you an example. I was at my house one night with a friend of mine, and a year before that I'd done a festival.
Mm-hmm. Were you with the performer?
Yes.
Okay.
In the Isle of Wight. It was on ITV here, on every internet publication, and the person that was at my house was talking to me, and he said, bro, how do you know that you didn't just get that opportunity based off sympathy and the fact that you're in a wheelchair? And
that's what he said.
Yep. Yep.
And this was like a friend, a colleague,
supposedly
a friend.
Yep. Supposedly a friend.
What would you say is the struggles now with your career or in your career?
Struggles, just marketing and put money into my music. It takes money to market the things I want to do. Take costs. If you don't have that, then you're kind of slacking. And if you don't have a team behind you, then you're fucked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can put your music up no matter how great it is. If you haven't got exposure, no one's gonna hear it.
Well, let's hear something now.
Wake the fuck up, cause we all the same and our blood run red in the veins. Keep us separated, these walls and they barricade. It's not walls of peace, so they fall to pieces. Pass to the belly of the beast, please laying whole land and they teeth can't sleep. Cause the eye in the sky, man, we never get peace. Get a piece to the pie, five will feed into the lies. I'm high, probably here's what I'm on. I'm the best, no die long, can't get blast like a raw man when the mic on the lake. To get stoned, but the storm went right now like a Michael stone the slate. Never was a yes man, don't make it and I greet you with my left hand. Belfast race, I'm rocks in the red hand. Step out the lane, you a dead man. Never was a yes man, don't make it and I greet you with my left hand. Belfast race, I'm rocks in the red hand. Step out the lane, you a dead man. Think about me, fuck what they think about it. Hey, look at my jeans. When I see MCs, I like to eat, so don't flex for me if they like to speak. Man, I get even. Roll a piff, forget lit like a 12th of July. When I walk in this bitch, walk around like it's mine.
I fucked up my own shit. Nah, man. That's good.
Conscious girls in short skirts. Man who said she's a slap but fucked her. Insecure men in Moschino shirts who had to be first, who had the most cash, who had the best strip, $1 million whip. Girls who couldn't handle herself. Mascara down her lip from 45 pics on a snap for girls to swipe up and say, did he really hurt you like that? The truth is you were too thirsty in that. You hold back on facts and think back to when you were 6, making pinky swears in all packs, running down the shop for your match attacks and Pepsi Max a couple years later for your bag of crack and drinking cracking out the back. And then
my story begins in 2002. Mother's firstborn, she had to share all of the news. The only mixed race kid out of all of my friends. I was literally the black sheep in my group. Although I never really felt too out of place, I was told being different is good in many ways. Important life lessons learned from the youngest of age. Yeah, I'm grateful, I'm showing this all by my praise. Or praise to the Almighty as I start this verse. Or praise to the Creator, yeah, my God's at work. Yeah, it's not about myself, I gotta praise Him first. I'm chasing these material goods, I don't know what it's worth. Nothing, trying to fulfill themselves by other means. Down moments of revelation, epiphanies. I just feel like right now nothing can get to me unless it's hit with perfect trajectory.
See that? Do you think all non-black people are guests in hip-hop?
To a degree, yeah. I think all non-New York specifically, do you know what I mean? Where it was originated, you gotta, when you do this art form, you gotta pay respect. Like,
what's your stance on the N-word? Do you use it?
No, never. No, I think it's not my place to use, and I think it's such a weighted word. I would never want to use it anyway. Yeah. One thing about art is it's always like, I think everything is a sample of a sample of a sample of a sample, and hip hop has got to this point now where it's got so many branches to this tree that like people are keeping on like adding more and more and more branches. So create your own branch. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm so Irish, I even got those flags up in my chest, but I must confess I was not the type to protest just like the rest of them. I can see that emblem in my iris, but it helps me see clear from a country that's bred by violence. These borders bring bombs and they blast it, innocent families who try to keep those tragedies buried within the past, mate. And let the bitter hope that maybe a peace could last was gone so fucking fast like the cracks of a bomb blast. When the Irish were built strong, we're tough to the bone, not afraid to struggle, helping out those others at home. I hear these horrible statements that make me sick to the core, like all the Irish men do is drink and fuck like we're whores. Well, I'ma put you to that statement and I'ma show you to test that you ain't fucking with the Irish, some of the lyrical best. You ain't touching on that real shit you never present. It's like luscious lyricism straight up a tongue like can melt. I'm so Irish, I can feel it coming through my veins. I'm talking 800 years of a nation's tears and pain. You can touch us on that lyrical aspect when all you do is talk less. But a fucking track we ain't blessed yet. I'm like,
give me space to express my lyrical conquest, I guess. When they look at me, they picture the best. I'm blessed. With my gift, I know I'll rule the world. If I could, I'd spread love to all the boys and girls. Not a preacher, thought I would say it to let you know if you had water to a seed, it will eventually grow. And I know that it's been crazy through these mad times. Been mad round here, been through some bad times. Yes, I'm here for the long run, here to stay. Man, they'll never take me out, I ain't going away. You believe in yourself and the dreams you made? Put your hands in the air and let me hear you say, believe.
My boss said I was lazy, gotta bleed it for the company. I told him I don't care, don't even bleed it for the country. One more round and then we choke. All the trees are up in smoke, and we're sitting here in suits, looking like the joke.
Prince. I asked Prince, I said, who's, name some of your top favorite rappers? And he said, like J. Cole, J. Rock, and he named all the greats. And then he said, and JJ.
That's mad.
Yeah. So he had
He's probably just being nice, bro.
No, literally.
Nah, that's being nice. That's being nice. Yeah.
So how do you feel knowing that you have such an impact on people, rather even if it's on a local scale?
That's mad.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
I'm more caught about the people who's doing the shit here and just want to see people getting on. That's most important. Like I see the people first. I don't give a fuck what your music's like. I don't care how fast you rap or what your bars are like. I give a fuck what the person's like. If you're a nice dude, I'll fuck with you first. Bars, no, yeah. I ain't getting fucking emotional on this shit and bringing up that shit.
Yes, well, everybody gets emotional in my interviews. What do I be saying or doing? What did I say?
Yo, Arsenio, man. Arsenio Hall.
Okay, everybody gets emotional on my show. Why are you emotional?
I don't know. It's just a lot of work and shit. Yeah, man. Just been working for years, man. I just dealt with a lot of shit just to get this shit off the ground. Oh fuck, man.
Sorry.
Oh fuck. I look like a dick right now. Just life, man. You know what I mean? Shit just gets to you. You work hard. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And just seeing people come together, man, and fucking just do shit. Like this dude dropped $2 grand on me, like.
But JJ, do you understand people believe in you?
Fucking, it's mad to see. I have one of my bars. It's like, can deal with your contradictions, but compliments, nah, man. Do you know what I mean? I can't fuck with that shit. Because I'm not a person to fucking look up to, and I'm nobody to fucking talk to.
He's speaking highly about you. So when, he says that somebody like you who invest in him,
I'm just for him.
Nah, you're always fucking, fuck that, man. This dude's always there, man. Both of them dudes, man. This dude is all from I was like 18. Just been helping me. He dropped, I had a gig one time, and I was short for some money. And I was setting up the event, this guy dropped the money on me. You know what I mean? That's it. Give me that back when you got it. I fucking pump. Do you know what I mean? It's just that shit. It's fucking nuts. It blows my mind. And that's the only reason why I keep thinking I have to keep making music. You know what I mean? I have something that all these people see shit. You know what I mean?
This is us. Yes.
Very noisy.
Yes. See that? You gotta go up to the people. Don't be shy. Talk to them. And this guy just walked away.
Guys, all good? Good?
You want to kind of like, and listen, even if you cannot see them, pretend like you can and point to them. Then you could, be a star. Like, back in your moment. Motherfucker, if you do like this.
Wait, hey, what you know about how you produce entertainment, Shawnee boy, Cannabis Collective. Yo, look out for a podcast coming soon, smoke up sessions. This has been tough, man.
This is Marcus Ward. Don't forget to share and subscribe.
Flows to the fall, shank to the bay.